edition of From Number to Name. The East-West Players are the nation's largest producers of Asian American theatrical shows, and now they're once again taking on a very serious project, the real lives of former inmates and their families. It's called From Number to Name, Back to Life. And director Kristina Wong is here along with one of the stars, Kirn. We want to welcome you both for joining us here today. It's really nice to have you. And I have to say, it was a little bit of a surprise, Kristina. First off, everything I've seen of you is all about comedy, and this is a very serious subject.
It is, and there's a lot of humor, I think, that we find in this topic. Kirk can tell you we cover everything from how to find love after incarceration, the first experience of eating food outside of prison. While it is a devastating issue to look at, we find pockets of humor to keep it interesting for the audience, and so much of it is a survival thing.
And Kirn, you were this honor roll student, and then tell us what happened. What were you doing when you got in trouble?
Well, I was going along with my friends and got in over my head. I mean, unfortunately, it was a tragic situation, but I'm not really much different of a story than anyone else that gets caught up in the criminal justice system.
You say that, but I have to say I was surprised that you were acting as a lookout, sitting in a car, didn't take part in what happened inside that house, but you got 20 years.
Yes. So because of mass incarceration, punishment was increased for people who were involved in any amount of crime. Recently, about 2 years ago, we had a reform where people who were peripherally involved in a crime no longer will get that full level of punishment. It turns out that 75% of women serving life in prison were there because they were with their husband or boyfriend and just along for the ride and got caught up. And yet, even though they had no intention to commit this very heinous crime, were sentenced to this very long sentence. So now our reform has taken care of that.
And you were very young at the time as well. 16.
16 years old, yes.
Wow. So what made you both want to do this? I mean, to put this story forefront on the stage?
I think for Asian American communities, we don't talk about incarceration. If we do have incarcerated family members, we certainly they just don't exist anymore, and there aren't a lot of support systems for folks coming back. And that's I got involved by joining API Rise, which is where I met Kirn, and API Rise is collaborating with East-West Players, and a lot of their members are formerly incarcerated and are in our show, and so it just felt like a great way, this medium of theater, to share these stories directly with an audience that is our community, but has no idea that this has ever happened before.
And real quick before we have to go to commercial break, Kirn, is it therapeutic in any way to tell these stories and to be involved? Oh,
very much so. I mean, culturally, we were told, hide your history, hide your past. And so I was living within my own trauma of my experience of having been locked up for 20 years and not being able to help heal the community. And so being able to use my experiences to help other people coming home so that they can feel the full support and have a successful reentry has been very, very much very endearing and exciting for me.
And people can still see this coming up August 5th through the 7th. It'll be live streamed, and you can get more information about the show and how to see it by going to KCal9.com and clicking on Seen on TV. Thank you both for joining us this afternoon. Certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.